In the last episode, we continued our adventures across the plains, and were trapped in a house by a sandstorm, and now things have gone weird. Very, very weird.
Looks like a sea bunk. Guess old habits die hard. No mirror. I guess Captain Boylan doesn't do much preening here. I can just hear Joni. A quill and ink, how charming. The captain won't miss this for now.
Let's take the quill and ink. Okay.
The dinner gong. Can't imagine it gets much use. One of the doors is slightly open. I shouldn't be snooping around.
Like, we are literally looking for a missing person.
Well stocked.
Okay.
It's empty. The others are looking upstairs.
You checked?
Later. Captain Boylan.
We checked the captain's quarters.
The captain still has some old country pride. The storm has eased up some. Can't really see anything in here. Hang on. What's this? There's a small switch in the back. Well, I'll be damned. Captain! You're still breathing, thank God. Hang on, I'll get help.
He appears to be fine physically, but he seems to be in some sort of trance.
A trance? How do you mean?
His eyes are open, but he's not really awake. He's gone within himself. I've seen people do this voluntarily, to meditate or relive certain memories, but Captain Boylan seems trapped.
Is there anything we can do?
I'm not entirely sure. Did he say anything when you found him, Harley?
Not a word.
I'm at a loss. Something brought this on, but what?
Like, why did he come to this hidden room?
Could it have something to do with this room? If he went to the trouble of building a secret passage, it must have some significance to him.
That's a very good point. I would say this place is a sanctuary.
But from what? The man lives alone in the desert already. What's he need a secret sanctuary for?
Look, on the wall there.
It's a sketch of Captain Boylan with 5 other men. His crew, maybe? There's a signature. A. Cranach.
Cranach? God forgive me.
Captain, can you hear me?
The doom? The doom!
What doom? What do you mean?
I came from nowhere. I ought to have taken heed. I ought to have let it take me.
Captain? Captain? He's unresponsive again.
So, maybe it's to do with the whale. Because I can remember in the previous episode at the dinner, he talked about basically a whaling incident which took his leg. Maybe someone else got taken, like, during that, not just him. Captain Bly's obviously suffering. What is going on?
This is all so strange. I wish we knew what was going on.
I think I have an idea.
Yes?
That chair, the way it's positioned, facing that sketch, this room being hidden. I think something happened to those men.
Something bad. And I think the captain blames himself for it. He probably comes in here to punish himself.
Oh, how you figure that?
Because... well, call it a hunch.
I don't know. Seems kind of far-fetched, don't it?
Not entirely. I've read some of the new theories about the study of the mind. A particularly traumatic event may have shaken Captain Boylan's sanity.
So, he has gone mad?
Yes, but he may not be beyond help. We could try to reach him. I could try a form of hypnosis.
Oh, sure. That's where you get him to cluck like a chicken, right?
Not at all. It means he would be calmed and put into a receptive state. Then we could speak directly with his unconscious mind. But to have the best chance, we would have to recreate the environment he's experiencing as accurately as possible.
Recreate the environment? Just how do you propose we do that?
We must each take on a role.
Oh, you mean like play acting?
Something like that. If we can each convincingly assume the identities of the men in that sketch, the captain may feel they are truly here with him. His fantasy will become clear, and we'll be able to guide him through and out of it.
Sounds just crazy enough to work.
But we know nothing about these men, aside from what they look like.
Which means we need to find out more. The more details we have, the better.
Then let's put this show together. Harley, you're good at finding things. See if Captain Boylan had a diary or something.
All right, I'm on it. There's not much in here. I guess Captain Boylan didn't care much for writing. Here's an interesting passage.
Fisher landed another whale today on his first shot. I asked him how he managed it. Turns out he's been tying his wife's kerchief to the harpoon handle. Swears it brings luck and improves his aim. Ah, to be young and in love.
I hope we're able to help the captain.
Let me know when you found something that might tell us who those fellers in the sketch are.
So we know.
That's Captain Boylan on the left.
Okay.
The 5 other men must be his crew, but I have no idea who any of them are. That's Captain Boylan. The 5.
So this one is Fisher.
I must admit, this is all very odd. Though I do pity the captain.
Okay, so what can we interact with?
There's gotta be some. Storm seems to. Boylan set up a sort of shrine from the look of it.
Poor Captain Boylan. It's not easy living with demons.
Okay. So we need to get a scarf and a harpoon.
Not much inside. There is a folded up piece of paper. Seems to be a recipe for sea biscuits. There's a note. Your favorites. Told you they were simple to make. Perhaps someday you can whip some up for me. It's initialed G-O-M.
Okay. So,
That's Captain Boylan on the left.
I would say Fisher is the 1 second from the left because he's got the harpoon. GOM is the cook, so he's probably the guy 3rd from the left. One bloke obviously is doing stuff with Scrimsaw, one bloke's got a spyglass, and one guy looks like a ship's
5
hand.
other men must be his crew, but I have no idea who any of them are.
Okay, so we've got a... Oh wait, I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. We probably need to go up here. Select the item.
Unfortunately, I haven't got time to...
What's this, a journal?
Captain Boylan's personal one.
I see. Well, I'll let you pore over it for any pertinent information.
I do not think...
I'm not in the mood to...
Okay.
There's not much Here's an
Fisher landed another whale today on his first shot. I asked him how he managed it. Turns out he's been tying his wife's kerchief to the harpoon handle. Swears it...
Okay.
Not much seems there's a note. Its initial...
Okay.
Well stocked. For an old sea captain. This crate's been empty. A crate chock full of rum bottles. Probably full of... Looks stir... No rum in here. Another
Okay.
There we are. Enough rum to last a lifetime. Or an evening. An old navigational chart. An old... The map is old. I don't want to risk... The map is old.
Okay. So we've got the harpoon for one of them. Book of Disease.
These shelves are full of ship's logbook. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Nautical adventures, war stories, some kind of navigational. Classical. I'm no agentum. Such a... There's not much... Here's an...
Fisher landed and turns out he...
We're in the middle of the desert.
I'm just trying to
I
figure...
wouldn't even...
Okay.
Spare linens and an old sketch. A sketch of a ship, the Derwent. There's a note. Captain Boylan, looking forward to our first voyage together. Signed A. Cranach. Cranach? That's the same name on the sketch in the attic. So the Derwent must be the ship I'm looking for.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we need one of the teeth. I'm pretty sure it's the whale teeth.
Looks like a navigational chart. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take this hat.
So we need something to tie around the handle. Something to tie around the handle of that.
Nice to be able to... Evocative. There's an empty bottle and a note in here. I'll take the note.
Okay, so not to say.
Captain Boylan, I recommend taking 1 nitroglycerin tablet per day and avoiding overexcitement.
Okay.
This is the water. The plaque says the Corunna. Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. And that other one there looks like one of the men in the attic sketch. I need to figure out exactly who it is.
So it's the Corona and... Okay.
Ah, here we are. The logbook for the Derwent. These shells... The Derwent sailed out of El Presidio in 1830. Listed crew is Captain Philip Boylan, First Mate Michael Benelli, Navigator Karanga Payo, Harpooner Jalal Fisher, Dr. Jonas Francois, Cook George O'Malley, and Alfred Cranach, profession unlisted.
Okay.
Classical dialogues, poetry, and natural... Some kind of...
Okay. So we have a picture painted together.
An old nav looks awfully familiar. There's a path drawn around an island that says Detour. The name of the island's been crossed out. These two charts show the same land masses. The island crossed out on my chart is called Hastram Scary.
Okay.
Not much inside. Seems to be there's a note. Your favorites told you that it's initialed GOM.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'd do with that.
I found the ship's log for the crew in the sketch.
Nicely done. Let's have a look. Alright, so we've got a first mate, navigator, harpooner, doctor, cook, and artist. We can probably leave that last one out.
Okay, so Danny can be the cook, Nadine the doctor, Phil the harpooner, you can be the navigator, and I'll be the first mate.
Oh, don't you think I ought to be the first mate?
Does it really matter?
Reckon not. Right, now all we need are some props.
Props?
Sure, for authenticity. Have another look at the sketch. Each of the crewmen is either wearing or holding something unique.
So an apron, hat, disease book, but we can't find it, but we do have the whale tooth.
Jake's right. If we each have the appropriate item, it will increase our chances of convincing the captain that we are his former crew. I'd also suggest trying to learn at least one personal detail about each one, just in case.
Okay, I'll have a look around.
Bring me any items you find.
And let me know when you're ready to begin the performance.
This is a lot to keep track of.
Make a list. Mate. Change goes to go around there. Prop. Harpoon. Michael Benelli, we don't have anything for. Okay. An apron.
Well stocked.
There's obviously not an apron about.
It's empty.
Let's see what we can find upstairs. The whale one was the one we needed.
A ship in a dense fog. A musty smelling.
Okay. Perhaps he's the Corona?
The plaque says the Corona.
Corona.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a little model sailor that looks kind of like Captain Boylan. And that looks like First Mate Benelli. They must have been shipmates. The port of Gascon, if I'm not mistaken. Been years since I've seen it.
Okay.
Nice. Evocative.
Okay. The cook gets the sea biscuits. The doctor gets the tooth. Navigator gets spyglass. Harpooner gets to harpoon. Okay.
A sketch of a Captain Boylan looking forward.
Okay.
A painting of a harbor. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before.
Okay. Can't interact with anything like there.
We're in the middle of the desert. A bust of some lady in a helmet.
Okay.
Such an intricate design. Nautical adventures, war stories, medieval romances, and frontier tales. Atlases, classical dialogues, poetry, and natural. Classical
Okay.
The captain.
Okay, let's think about this logically. Okay.
Boylan set up a sort of... That's Captain Boylan on the left. According to the ship's log, these other men are harpooner Jalal Fisher, cook George O'Malley, Dr. Jonas Francois, first mate Michael Benelli, and navigator Karenga Payo.
Okay.
I feel sorry for the sea beast that gets one of these through its hide.
Found something we need?
Here's a harpoon for Mr. Fisher.
All right, this one's yours, Phil.
I do hope this works.
A spyglass for Navigator Payo.
Great.
Here's a carved whale tooth for Dr. Francois.
This one's you, Miss Redbird.
I wear that.
Here, this is the hat first mate Benelli wore.
Perfect. I'll hang on to it.
Okay. George O'Malley is the problem because we need to... Oh, I've got an idea. Tattoo.
Found something we need?
I found this inkwell and quill. Should work for drawing O'Malley's tattoo on Danny.
Right. I'll hold on to this thing until it's time. Nice work, Harley. I think we got all the props we need.
Okay. Served with boiled, changed the course to go around Hellstrom Skier. Ties wife's chief, ties wife's handkerchief to harpoon for luck. Described medication for boy's heart condition. Favorite meal is sea biscuits. Okay.
Is everything ready to go? Keep in mind, we'll likely only get one chance at this.
Got as much as I can.
I think so. I've found everything I can.
Excellent. Let's gather everything together and get started. I'll begin. Then we can each say who we are. Captain Boylan, hear the voices of your former crew.
Me crew?
Go ahead, Harley. You start.
First Mate Michael Vanelli reporting for duty, Captain Boylan.
Michael, can it be?
Captain Boylan, it's Karenga Payo, your navigator.
Payo, you're alive?
Captain Boylan, it's me, George O'Malley. Supper is almost ready.
Ah, yes, I can smell it. Delicious.
See, they're changing into the characters.
Captain Boylan, I am Jalal Fisher, harpooner.
Of course, Fisher! I knew you'd made it.
And I am Dr. Jonas Francois.
Doc! Oh, Doc, how I've needed you. Me crew? Can it be?
Yes, Captain. We've come to speak with you.
But you're not some devils sent to trick me?
We are not, I assure you.
Prove it, then. Benelli, if it's truly yourself, tell me the name of the ship we served on before the Derwent.
The Corona.
How could I forget the Corona?
Aye, an unforgettable ship she was. Ah, Michael, I don't know how it'd be possible, but it's good you're back. Payo!
Aye, Captain.
Remind me of the course correction ye made this morning.
We sailed around Hestrom Skerry.
We're going around Hostrom Scary.
That's right. I remember now. Fine work, Payo. That'll surely save us some time. Fisher, have ye your harpoon at the ready?
Aye, sir.
And your aim will be true?
I've tied my wife handkerchief to the handle.
Yes, I have my wife's lucky kerchief tied to the handle.
Ah, good. Then our hunt is sure to succeed. O'Malley?
Sir?
I believe I know that delicious scent, but remind me what it is you're making.
Sea biscuits.
Oh, why, your favorite, of course. Sea biscuits.
As I suspected, I can hardly wait for a taste.
Captain, I recommend you take it easy.
Why is that, Dr. Francois?
You have a weak heart.
I don't want you to put any stress on your heart. Have you been taking your nitroglycerin tablets?
I have. I think I have. I can't believe what I'm seeing and hearing, but y'all are really here. But how can this be? I saw ye all dragged under. I can't make sense of this.
Perhaps you still can. Tell us what you remember.
Aye, 20 years ago, Derwent left El Presidio on the hunt for whales. We'd been out for months, with almost naught to show for it. A wretched haul, wretched pay. Benelli came to me, saying the crew was getting agitated, yearning for home. Forgive me, Benelli. I ought to have listened to you. After the third time you tried to speak sense, I tossed you in the brig for insubordination. One more, I said. We'll not turn for home before we bring in one more whale. Hio and Fisher, at least, were keen. I saw the signs, but didn't want to believe them. Didn't want to turn back. But there was a devil of a storm brewing, and he brought us down. Poor Benelli, locked in the brig, to drown like a rat. And the rest of ye didn't stand a chance once the ship turned over. Brave, brave Fisher. You saved me life when it ought to have been me what went down with the Derwent. Ah, lads, that night's been eating away at me for 20 years. How I wish I could go back. How I wish I could make things right.
We forgive you, we can't change the past, you can learn to live with it. Let's forgive him. I mean, yeah, locking his first mate in the brig was a bad thing, but he didn't know a storm was coming. And he's been haunting, he's basically punishing himself for 20 years.
It's alright. We've come to tell you that we forgive you.
You do? But I be the reason you're all dead.
Did you cause the storm?
Of course I didn't, but if I'd listened and turned back, we'd never have been caught in it.
Suppose we had turned back and been boarded and murdered by pirates.
What's that got to do with anything?
Bad things happen. Most of them we can't control. You made a mistake, and it cost the lives of your friends. That doesn't make you a bad person. You were given a second chance. The important thing is to use it.
But how?
You already are. Not everyone would take in 5 strangers seeking shelter without question.
It won't ever stop hurting, but you can take the pain and turn it into something good.
I suppose you're right. I swear I'll do right by all of ye. Thank ye. You've given me a moment of peace. I hope to God you've found it as well. Oh, I'm weary.
Think it worked?
I hope so. Come, we should get some sleep, and let's refrain from mentioning this to the captain in the morning.
Appreciate your hospitality, Captain.
Think nothing of it. I hope you all slept well.
Very much so. And yourself?
Best sleep I've had in years.
I'm glad to hear it.
Ye said you were headed to El Presidio?
That's right.
Then I wonder if I might trouble ye for a small favour. I've a letter needs delivering. Could I entrust it to ye?
Of course.
My thanks. I'd also like to leave ye with a couple of mementos. For being so quick to volunteer and help out, Mr. Luo and Miss Redbird, please, take this bottle of Barbadian rum. Perhaps ye might split it between ye. Makes dull work go faster.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind.
And for you, Miss Leger, this tea caddy. I carved the inlay myself.
It's beautiful.
Best of luck on your journey. And if ye ever pass this way again, feel free to knock on me door.
Thanks, Captain, we will.
Our stay at Captain Boylan's farmhouse was anything but dull. I can't say for sure whether we truly helped him for good and all, but he seemed himself again when he saw us off this morning. I do believe he was truly lonely in his self-imposed exile and grateful for even the brief company we offered. After traveling half the day, we've stopped for a brief rest, and Nadine has asked me to accompany her on an excursion into the desert. For what purpose, I shall soon learn.
Thank you for accompanying me, Harley.
Not a problem. What are we doing, exactly?
Since we're passing through this area, I thought this would be the perfect chance to gather some medicinal herbs for my kit. There are a number of plants with useful properties that are likely to grow around here.
Okay. What are we looking for?
To start, we should find some gumweed. I already spotted some from the wagon earlier. You'll recognize it by the bright yellow flowers and serrated leaves. I'll search further this way. Call out when you've got some.
And our diary is updated. With nasty storm threatening to blow us over, Miss Johnson urging us to search refuge with a sea captain named Boylan. Traded the close, damp quarters of life at sea for the dry, separate environment. The house itself is there to Nautical Museum. I cannot imagine our host had frequent occasion to see guests. We've always had that before. Our stay at Captain Farmhouse was anything but dull. Yeah, like night, screaming, secret shrines. Dean diagnosed his strange trance-like condition and guided us in an attempt to draw him out of it through a form of hypnosis. Can't say what saw whatever we truly helped him for good at all, but he seemed himself again when we saw him off this morning. Trusted us with a letter to deliver to the widow of his first mate in El Presidio. After the travel, half the day... Okay, asked us to look for flowers. So yellow flowers there. Yeah, yellow flowers with razor, like serrated edges.
Nadine! I found some gumweed.
Excellent work, Harley. Now, I still have some more herbs on my list.
So, what's next?
Desert lavender, though I don't see any here. Let's keep going. There may be some up ahead.
Okay.
White flowers with purple edges. So, what?
Desert lavender. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Hey, look! Over there.
Oh dear. It's a coyote. He's sick.
Is that a badger?
Badgers and coyotes often hunt together. Clearly this badger is protecting his friend.
Is there anything we can do to help the coyote?
We can certainly try. I can't get close enough while the badger is here. They can be quite fierce. Perhaps we can lure it away somehow?
Yeah, maybe. I'll have a think.
Tea caddy.
Tiny white flower.
Let's see what we get. There is a stick.
Striking little purple flowers.
Let's see if we can try and... There must be something we can do.
There's a hole in that cactus. I can just make out the shape of an egg.
Okay.
Steady now. Got it.
Let's use the egg to lure away the badger.
Here you go, you little mongrel. A nice egg to snack on.
Where did you find that egg?
In a cactus, just over there. There was a bird's nest inside.
Oh dear. I hope the mother bird will forgive you. But at least now I can examine the coyote. Aw, poor thing. 2 puncture wounds in his hind leg. This coyote was bitten by a snake.
Is there anything we can do?
Yes, but we'll need to be quick. I'll try to remove the venom and treat the wound. I think I saw some snake root nearby. It has clusters of white star-shaped flowers. Please look for it quickly.
Okay, I'm on it.
Okay. White star-like flowers.
This bush has clusters of white...
Okay, this would be the one.
I managed to find some snake root.
And just in time, too. Relax, friend. This will help. There. I think you'll be all right.
That was impressive.
Incredible. You're quite the healer.
I do what I can. We should head back to the wagon. We can gather a few more herbs on the way. Well, that was certainly an eventful excursion.
Sure was.
You know, it made me think of an old story about 2 other animal friends. I haven't thought about it in years, but it just came back to me.
Go on then, let's hear it.
Okay, but first...
What are you doing?
You'll see. Now then. A fox mother was carrying her kits to a new den, one by one, when suddenly a hunter leapt out and gave chase. The mother dropped the kit she was holding and ran off, leading the hunter into the woods. Mewling in confusion, the kit stumbled away and tumbled down a steep hill, landing in a stream at the bottom of a ravine. He blacked out. When the young fox woke alone on the bank of the stream, he started to yip and yowl. Nearby, a turtle poked her head out of her shell and peered at him. "What's all that noise?" she asked. "I'm alone and I don't know where my home is," Fox cried. "I don't see what's so bad about being alone," Turtle said. "And if you carried your home with you like I do, you'd always know where it is." "I'm hungry too," said Fox, just realizing his stomach was rumbling. "Hungry?" Turtle said. "How can you be hungry when the water is full of delicious larvae?" And with that, she gulped up a large mouthful. Fox tried to follow Turtle's example and ate some of the tiny larvae, but they weren't very tasty and didn't fill him up. Turtle began to slowly walk away downstream. Fox followed. Now, night was falling, and it was getting colder. "Is there room in your home for me?" Fox asked. "No," said Turtle. Fox whimpered and lay down in the mud, shivering. Turtle went inside her shell to sleep, but she couldn't forget the pitiful sight of the lost kit. Poor Fox, Turtle sighed. You can borrow my shell, just for a while. We'll take turns. Turtle took her shell off, and Fox tried to crawl inside. He could only fit halfway, and it felt like all his bones were breaking, but he was grateful. Just then, a huge owl, seeing Turtle lying there unprotected, seized her in its claws and was about to carry her away. Yipping furiously, Fox kicked the shell off and chased the mean old owl away. That was close. Thank you, Turtle said. She went back into her shell, and Fox lay beside her, keeping watch. After that, Fox and Turtle continued to travel together. Turtle discovered she could see farther and travel much faster by riding on Fox's head. She guided Fox to all the best spots for catching larvae and other tasty things, enough to fill both of their bellies. Fox found a curved piece of bark that fit him better than Turtle's too small shell. He carried it in his mouth during the day and slept under it at night, and Turtle had no fear of any predator, because Fox would bare his fangs and scare off anyone who threatened her. In this way, Turtle and Fox wandered from place to place until they had visited every part of the land, and both grew old and happy.
So the lonely turtle and lost fox ended up helping each other. Touching story.
Yes, I always thought so.
Where's that story from?
So where did you hear the story?
Actually, I read it in a book. Myths and Legends of the Native Vespuccians. Dr. Sedgwick bought it from a traveling bookseller. I think he was of two minds about giving it to me. On the one hand, I know he considered it frivolous heathen claptrap. But on the other hand, he thought it might be meaningful to me, having something connected to my origins. He was right. I cherished that book, devoured it. It was written by a white man who was supposed to have traveled all around the country collecting native folk tales. Sometimes I wonder if he ever left the publishing office in Bright Bay. Maybe he just made them all up. I preferred to believe that there was something authentic about them, though.
They're good stories, right? They spoke to you? That's all that really matters. I like to think that storytelling is universal. Tell a compelling yarn and anyone can enjoy it.
Maybe you're right. I just wish I had something that I knew was really from my own people.
Well, that's understandable. Anyhow, I liked the way you told it. It's your story now.
That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Here, for you.
Oh, this is really well done. Thank you.
Shall we head back now?
Sure. Let's go.
Our travel continues. Next journal entry. The Dean took us on an adventure of delaying the journey to stock our pharmaceuticals. Perhaps more interesting than the flora or the cousin of the fauna we encountered. I appear to be a peculiar animal friendship. Returned. Yes, fantastic. Interesting. Let's talk to you.
Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure.
So did you get PD's memorial sorted out?
Yeah, I think so. It was hard saying goodbye, but I needed to do it.
Goodbyes aren't easy. Never quite got the hang of them myself.
No?
I don't like to stick around in one place too long, so eventually I just move on. Figure I'll be back around again sometime later. But you don't always get another chance for a proper farewell.
Well, I hope you're not planning on leaving us just yet.
Nah, I like to finish what I start. Captain Boylan sure was facing some demons. Hope he'll be alright.
I think so. At least, he seemed happier. You know, you've got some kind of knack for helping people make peace with themselves.
You think so? Hadn't thought of it that way. Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Good book?
I'm not much of a literary critic, but it helps pass the time. Danny told me you're a writer. Have you published any books?
Me? No, books are way beyond my reach. I stick to articles and essays, and have trouble enough with those.
You shouldn't underestimate yourself. It wouldn't surprise me to see a book with your name on the cover someday.
Well, that's kind of you to say. Guess we'll see. I've still got old Captain Boylan on my mind. Think he'll be alright?
I think so. He seemed much more at peace when we left him. I'm just glad our intervention did some good.
Your lesson on herbs was very educational, so thanks for that.
Of course. I hope the knowledge is of use to you someday.
Hey, Leger. I need a word.
Yes?
There's a stopped wagon up ahead. Freighters from the look of it. I'll pull over. Go see if they've got anything worthwhile for sale.
Will do.
Okay, we've got an autosave point here, and I think this is a good place to end it for today's episode, since we're at a good, stopping point. I've been Cornish-Knight, this has been Rosewater, and I'll see you all again next time, folks. Goodbye.